Hello Blast Processors, and here we are at Toy Fair 2019 on the Hornby stand. But it's Hornby, isn't it?
It is Hornby.
I'm confused, there's so many logos around here. I've seen Airfix everywhere, but we're not even with Airfix.
Yeah.
We are with Warlord.
Indeed.
And we've got a Warlord with us, Charlie.
Yeah, that's me.
Yes. Now you're encamped on their stand.
We are, yes. Yeah.
With the Warlord product range.
Some of the Warlord product range,
yes.
A very small part of it.
It's more than enough what we need.
A small part of the 7,000 products we currently have, but yes.
An assortment, a range.
An assortment. Some of the best.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're going to take us through what it is?
I'm going to try my best, yes.
Excellent.
So for anybody that's not familiar with Warlord Games, we are a tabletop gaming manufacturer. So we specialise in historical tabletop games, which is where we started with bolt action. So the bolt action system's about 8 years old. A little bit younger than Warlord itself, which is about 10 years old now. But bolt action is our sort of headline system and is probably the number one World War II tabletop game in the world now. Well established, 28mm scale. So in tabletop world, we're talking millimeters rather than in scales.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it'd be 1/56th. For those that are looking for the actual scales. But yeah, so it plays very much like any tabletop game you'd be familiar with. So if you're familiar with Games Workshop and things like that, it's a very similar system, but revolves around the cinematic representation of World War II. So think Saving Private Ryan, think Band of Brothers, that sort of stuff is what you're trying to recreate on the tabletop with bolt action. Mm-hmm. We then got Blood Red Skies. So last year we branched out into aerial combat. So again, it's a World War II aerial combat tabletop game, and it's a bit of a change of pace for us. So we've gone from 28mm down to 1/300th scale for the aircraft in this one, and it's very much a game in a box. So what you see there is what you're getting in this box. And it's everything you need to play the game. You don't need anything else. The planes come pre-coloured, so you've got brown for your Spitfires, grey for your Messerschmitts, and you're good to go. You literally break it out of the box, and it's trying to give you that sort of crossover between board game and tabletop. So it's self-contained, but it's still a tabletop game in that you're measuring and you've got freedom of movement when you're moving your pieces around. You're not stuck to moving on hexes or squares and things like that.
Everything you want in the box, and you just play it.
Exactly right, yes, yeah.
And then cards?
Yeah, very much so, yeah. But with planes, then you can go and and all that sort of stuff, which is what we do all day, every day.
You don't admit that to the public. Yeah, we do.
Yeah. And then outside of that, we've got Cruel Seas, which is our new World War II naval game. Which again is in a much smaller scale, and it's geared around motor torpedo boats, so coastal actions. So rather than being battleships, which could be a bit dull of like, have I sunk your battleship? No, have you sunk mine? Oh yes, game over. It's very fast and furious, motor torpedo boats, your Vospers, your Schnell boots for the Germans, and you're trying to get in amongst the, so whether it be landing craft or you're trying to, intercept transport ships and things like that. It's very fast and furious and all about, those smaller
scale
ships.
Again, but you've zoomed into the smaller story.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, definitely so. And then outside of that, we've got Napoleonics in black powder, and it's not just Napoleonics. It takes you all through the American Civil War, American War of Independence, Anglo-Zulu War. Is all covered by our sort of black powder range, which is probably our second largest range next to bolt action. Then we've got Pike and Shot, which is English Civil War, which is, if you fancy a bit of parliamentaries versus royalists, that's the game for you. And then all the way back into sort of Roman Empire, we've got a game system called Hail Caesar, which tackles everything from your Dark Ages all the way up through your Roman Empire and stuff like that as well, which is mightily good fun.
Pointy stuff, basically.
Pointy stuff, yeah. Bronze things to stab people with and all that sort of jazz. Yeah. And then we've got a couple of licensed products, which you can see behind us. We've got the Doctor Who license, which comes again as a box game. So you've got everything in there that you would need to play the game. You get 12 Daleks, 12 Cybermen. They're in gold plastic and silver plastic, so no need to paint them if you don't want to. They snap fit together, so there's no need for any glue or anything like that. There's a mat in the box. There's loads of tokens, rulers, rule set, everything you need to play a little battle between some Cybermen and some Daleks, because if you've got the Doctor Who license, why not?
Indeed.
Yeah, and then that range has grown massively over the 2 years we've had it. It's gone from that Exterminate set with Missy, Davros, Cybermen, Daleks. We started with the the Tenant as the 10th Doctor and companions, and then we've pretty much fleshed out almost every Doctor now. We've just released the 13th with the new TARDIS, so that comes in a box together, and then we've gone back and dipped into all the old enemies of the Doctor and doing a bit of New Who and a bit of old Doctor Who and stuff like that. And it's a massive range. I think there's about 50 or 60 lines in that now. It very much appeals to the collectors. They're all single piece. They've got their own little standee that they stand on with their name on the front of it. So even if you don't want to go in and paint them, they make nice little sort of table displays and things as well.
You can't have a gap, can you?
No, of course not.
No,
of
it's
course
it
not.
has to be scratched.
Yes, yeah, it is, yeah. And then aside from that, we've recently acquired the 2000 AD license. And we dipped our toes in the water last year with Strontium Dog miniatures game, which obviously takes the form of Johnny Alpha and Wolf Sternhammer taking on Max Bubba and his gang of cronies, trying to track them down through time as they're going back to try and disrupt the timeline and so on and so forth. But in that we've added in Darkus and the Howlers, Bubba and his bad boys, there's the Steel Kriegers in there, so there's a lot of the guys who've gone back and sort of brought to life in that sort of. That's a little bit bigger than 28mm, it's probably sort of 30mm scale, 32mm scale, a little bit more heroic, a bit bigger sort of models than the historical side of things. And who knows where that 2000 AD license will take us in the future.
Yeah, it's a smart move opening with Strontium Dog because there's a concept, intergalactic bounty hunter that goes through time. Well, it grasps the concept. It can be anything you want it to be.
Of course it could, yeah, of course it could. And what's really nice is we've created a box of Build-a-Mutie. So you can just get a number of bodies, legs, heads and arms, and allows you to build a box of 5 mutants to look however you want them to look.
A box of cast-off.
Yeah, but they can have 2 heads, they can have a single head, they could have tentacles for arms, they could have big noses. I think I built a guy with a giant hand looking like he's about to slap somebody, just because, it's
because you could.
2000 AD, it's Strontium Dog, why wouldn't you? So yeah. So yeah, we're really excited about the 2000 AD license and where we can go with that into future licenses within that 2000 AD sort of universe. It's, There's loads to pop at, and like I say, Strontium Dog was a great place to start. The obvious one next would be Judge Dredd. There's Rogue Trooper springs to mind, and all that sort of stuff to go on top of that as well. So,
Now, all I can say is, where would punters buy this stuff? Plug time.
Yeah. So you'll get it from hopefully from any of your friendly local gaming stores. So if you're in a town and you've got a friendly local gaming store, pop down there, ask them about Warlord Games products. Alternatively, if they haven't got it, get them to give us a shout because we want them to get in touch. It's very easy to be a stockist for Warlord Games. Otherwise, you can go direct to warlordgames.com and you'll find all of our products online there as well.
Wonderful.
Grant.
Right. Well, thank you very much.
No, thanks for taking the time, Neil. Appreciate it.
Great. And this is Toy Fair 2019, and a big shout out to Karl, who's holding the camera. He's not getting away without a mention.
Yeah.
Bye.